HRV Breakfast page as well. So I haven't seen you in ages, Dr. Session.
I know we've just been passing each other because we've just been so busy, but it's great to be back. Definitely always happy to be on the show. I've honestly missed having the daily updates because it's been so helpful and so for so many people, including myself and the family. So yeah, we definitely have missed your show.
Yeah, two or 3 days ago, I was speaking to a friend of mine in Ghana.
Yeah.
And he said to me, well, what's going on with the show? I mean, I haven't seen you and the doctor in a long time. And then so I had to explain to him that, both of us have been really busy, especially you. We've been really busy with the students and exams and this and that. I had to assure him that definitely one of these days you will be. So I'm 100% sure he's on Facebook now, checking us out. So Charles, if you're watching, we're here. We're back. Good morning, Dr. Seshne. And how are you? How is the family?
We're all good.
How are you?
No, we are good. We all are good. I'm just going to try and see if I can share it on the hospital radio, Bedford, because you said that people will be looking out for it.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to try while we're chatting. But yeah, we are well. We are really, really well. Have you been busy as well with some braais and
Well, unfortunately we haven't had any braai yet, but we've sat in the garden many times, just Amy is busy in London, with her final exams and this and that, so she's more in London than in Bedford. So it's just the two of us, old man and old lady. So we just sit in the garden.
Oh, but sounds like you've been quite well as well, and it's been. I think that's what most people have been doing, because even though there's some lockdown things have changed, I think people are still a bit cautious because the numbers are still rising, and from the news of Boris Johnson, I'm sure you're coming to it. It's not a surprise that there's now a delay from the 21st of June to the 19th of July. So I want to ask, what are your thoughts? I mean, we did have a brief chat last night, but I was waiting to ask you. Yeah.
You just switched roles now. You're doing the questioning. But my thoughts are just mixed. Mixed, to be honest.
I know.
I'm not in a hurry to get, to get all these things. Not necessarily so. But I was watching a speech by the former Prime Minister. What's her name again?
Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher. The one who's
for the UK.
Yeah, the former Prime Minister. Oh my God, how can I forget my own Prime Minister's name? Former Prime Minister, the lady, the one who just went.
Who just went?
Oh my goodness!
I don't have it on the top of my head at the moment.
The one who went before Boris Johnson came. What's her name?
Okay, I'm.
Don't worry, we all get.
I can't remember.
But we'll find out. Yeah, but I was watching a speech from her, and
oh yes, I did. No, I did see this. Yes, yeah. There was some. There was mention of her because I did read that actually, and it's just slipped my mind. Yes, there was mention of her criticism, isn't it? On what's been happening.
I would not call it criticism. I call it that she was bringing out some points. She was making a point. And Theresa May, she's full.
Yes, sorry, yes, Theresa May. I couldn't get it. I mean, we know
Honestly,
her, but
I didn't remember it. I just Googled it.
I think no, I did remember, but I think because she did such a dramatic exit, it was like it was such a quick exit that she was just leaving. So it was just like it just slipped my mind as well. But and I did read the article yesterday of her mentioned in
I actually watched the video of her in Parliament. Yes. The argument was just was this simple.
Yeah.
The fact is the coronavirus has come to stay. We're going to live with it.
Yeah.
For the rest of our life. And her argument was that there is no way that we wouldn't have coronavirus year after year or year after year.
Yeah.
And there's no way that different variants will not come.
Yeah.
Because they will come.
Yes.
And she also said that unfortunately it will kill some.
Yes.
Just like the flu.
Yeah.
You know, the normal kills a few, kills people. So it's a shame that the government is basing, restrictions and the lifting of it on the fact that the variants coming in and there were, and all that. And then also the other argument was that the UK is arguably, definitely one of the heaviest vaccinated countries in the world. So if we are gonna stop people from traveling, and, just because or because there is rise in infection and all that, and fortunately there is not the death rate is plummeting. It's going down each day, even though there is rise in infection. So that was her argument. So I think basically what she was trying to say was that it's not necessary that we don't lift the what you call it, the sanction.
To be honest, you're right, because we chatted about this briefly last night. You were saying as well, this is something we are going to have to live with
for the rest of our lives.
Exactly. So it is something that we all have to get used to. So and I think it's going to be worldwide. So it's not just well, some countries, having said that, obviously some countries have done a lot better and sort of they've gone back to sort of normal life with traveling. They're not on the red or the amber list of the countries. So it's a lot better for some countries. But obviously UK, USA, India, South Africa, some of these countries, obviously Brazil, Mexico, all these, and some of the European, France and Portugal, Spain, all of those countries, Russia. Obviously, it's going to take a long while to get back to normal, but we are going to have to live with it. And I think that's what people,
Yesterday, I was having a chat with probably my wife, and we were talking about weddings. Now, wedding people they can have guests at weddings, as many as they want. But the restrictions are that they have to make sure that there's social distancing.
Yes.
That they don't dance. There's no dancing. There's no singing, and all that. At the wedding.
Yeah.
And the argument here is that if thousands of football fans can go to the stadium and chant and and do their chanting and all that, why can't people dance at weddings?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so many arguments here and there. But the government is saying that, look, if we just have to get more vaccinations going on.
Yes.
So I think that's the main point. That the government is the main reason the government is moving shifting the goalpost as it is to the 19th of July. What say you? What do you say?
Yes, well, I'm quite excited for the weddings because I think some people, actually a friend of mine, a colleague is having a wedding in Norfolk in July, and she was, because she said, oh no, I'll send you an online Zoom link, because obviously that was before the guidance came out. And so obviously it's exciting news for some people that if they want to have weddings, it's going to be larger numbers. And like you said, it seems a bit it seems a bit awkward, really. That's the word that's coming to me in terms of, yes, in the one hand, you can have a wedding, you can have so many guests, but you can't do, the dancing and all of that, which sounds a bit awkward.
What's the wedding without dance, man? You've got to dance.
I know. So it sounds. I know. I knew you were going to say it. Obviously, wherever there's a. I know. And you've seen Asian weddings as well, like hundreds of people.
I was just about to say that. I mean, and the Asian wedding, just like the Indian wedding.
It's like a big dance and a celebration.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we've got to celebrate, don't we?
Yeah.
How do you celebrate without dancing?
Exactly.
You've got to do that.
I know.
Anyway.
So, and then, yes, so it seems a bit awkward in terms of that. That's what I was thinking. But also it seems a bit unfair, because obviously you can have you can go to a stadium, you can go and drink and celebrate, and because you can probably be dancing, people get quite emotional. Some people get quite I'm sure you're a fan of sports, so you know how you react in the football stadium, or if you're watching cricket, and it gets intense.
Yeah. I mean, even social distancing.
Yeah.
In the stadium now, it won't happen.
Yeah.
If your team scores a goal.
Yeah.
This is a common thing that happens in stadiums.
Yeah.
When your team scores.
Yeah.
People scream and shout and they hug each other.
Yeah.
It's like a second nature. You just
have
your that kind of thing. So I don't know.
So
anyway,
yeah. Well, there's a lot happening in the UK. The vaccines, I just wanted to say the update. I think age 23 to 24 will be offered the vaccines. The UK has done very well with the vaccines. I think there's still a lot of controversy around how effective the vaccines are in terms of the Delta variant or the Indian variant. But it seems that getting the vaccines as opposed to not getting the vaccines is definitely advised. And with regards to travel, we've been talking about this, and this is something we predicted, that you are going to need those vaccines. So France has issued guidance, I think on the 9th of June, where people that are fully vaccinated will be allowed to France, and would not necessarily have to quarantine. But people that are not vaccinated would obviously have to show certain tests like the PCR, and they would have to show a valid reason of why they want to travel. And a negative test in the 24 hours. So there's obviously a lot going on in terms of vaccines. And I think it's across the world, it's not just restricted to Europe and UK. It's all over, where people are probably urged now. And a lot of people are actually taking up the vaccines, because it seems that if you don't have the vaccines, it's going to obviously affect travel. It might affect work. It might affect so many different things. But I do feel for the people that obviously can't take the vaccines. What are they doing? So.
Yeah, but talking about the vaccine affecting travel and work, there's been this directive that COVID vaccinations are to become compulsory.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, for staff in care homes.
And NHS staff.
And NHS staff?
Yeah. Okay. So the Telegraph news was it's going to be compulsory for all care workers, which we knew it was going to become, but also for NHS staff, which again this is what I was just saying. It's going to affect travel. It will affect our work. It's going to affect so many things. We're going to be restricted.
So they'll be given 16 weeks to get it.
Yeah.
Get the vaccine.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're going to lose your job. But they are saying that workers who can prove that they are medically exempt, they will not be affected by the new measure.
Yeah.
So how are you going to prove that?
Well, I think if you've obviously have this underlying sort of condition that obviously you can't, if you have previous allergies to any vaccines or certain medications or certain immunodeficiency conditions or blood disorders, pregnant women, so it's immunosuppression, as I said. So there's going to be people maybe that have had transplants, so organ transplants. So there's going to be different conditions where if they do take the vaccine and have the potential or being vulnerable to experiencing anaphylaxis reaction or allergic reaction, obviously they might be exempt. So I think this is going to be something which obviously those people with those conditions will have to consult with a GPs and get expert opinion.
See.
Yeah.
Well,
so yeah, with the vaccine, it obviously, I mean, yeah, I think as I said, most people are taking up the vaccine. Especially now with the Delta variant. When the Delta variant came out, or the Indian variant, we saw a large number of people in Bolton, Manchester, all over, people that were not taking the vaccine, even in Milton Keynes, and I'm sure in Bedford as well, people that were not taking the vaccines were taking it up. I've even had colleagues and friends message me, oh, where can I get the vaccine? Asking about the side effects again, because obviously, people are now obviously taking it a bit more. I mean, not that they weren't taking it serious, but I think everyone has a decision to make, because some people feel that they did not need to take the vaccine, which is, we have to respect each person's decision, because even myself, I wasn't 100% sure, but I eventually got the vaccine. So I think everyone has a different view.
So have you had your 2 doses yet, or just
so yeah, I've had the one in May, and then I'm having the second one on Saturday. So fingers crossed. And yourself, did you have the second dose?
Yeah, I've got both.
Yeah. Well done,
I wanted to get
Ferdinand.
this. Yeah, I wanted to get my second one before I traveled the first time in May.
Yes.
And I really, really wanted to get it, because I was thinking, oh God, it might help with all the, we talked about the COVID passport and all that.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't get any appointment, because all the time, I think because my time wasn't up. But whilst I was in Africa, I got a text. From my GP.
Wow.
To say that, so they gave me a date. So when I came, I got it.
Fantastic.
I'll tell you what, the strange thing is that when I got the first one, the only symptom I got really was my left arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt a bit of pain there, but it wasn't that serious. And my left arm felt slightly heavy for just a couple of hours. But the second one, absolutely nothing.
Oh, well done.
Anything at all. Nothing at all.
Well done. That's what I'm hearing. So most people, if anyone wants to know, the side effects, usually that we've all experienced is either with the first dose, as you're saying, more people have experienced more side effects. 1 in 5 that have received the vaccines have experienced a fever, headache, pain at the site of the injection, so wherever the arm, whichever arm was used, slight bruising, swelling. Some people have experienced muscle aches and pains. And yeah, so those are some mild to moderate symptoms that have been experienced. Some severe symptoms, obviously, people have experienced anaphylactic reaction, allergic reactions. Some people have had blood clots, so that's something that's still on, known as a side effect, especially with AstraZeneca. But having said that, most side effects are very mild and limiting within 24 to 48 hours. And it's nothing that people can just have bed rest, drink loads of fluids, eat healthily, and just have some support from your loved ones. Just make sure you keep in touch with people when you've taken the vaccine, letting them know you've had it so they can support you. And then also just taking paracetamols or something to reduce the fever if you need to.
I took paracetamol before I went.
Yeah, some people don't take medication, but I mean that's fine. You don't need it, but if you do feel, so that's great. You recovered. The second, yes, as you said, the second dose. You said you didn't have anything, so which is great. I think Ferdinand has had his recently, and a few days ago actually, and this week, and he experienced a bit of pain in his wrist and his arm. So in the second dose, and I've heard
I know
few people.
My nephew, he had the second dose. The first dose was fine. The second dose, he felt a bit sick, but it was just for a day, less than a day.
Yeah.
And then, anyway, let's move on. The thing is, because we haven't seen each other for a long time, so
we're having to catch up. But I think it's great because now at least if anyone's needed advice about the vaccines, concerns, so it's fantastic. Yeah, but the time is precious.
It's a good thing we're chatting and But we're chatting, but at the same time, we're bringing out the facts. Now, listen to this one. I was just reading. It's exactly a year on from the discovery that a cheap steroid drug prevented COVID deaths. Researchers say they have found another life-saving therapy. And it is quite expensive. It's between 1,000 and 200 and 2,000 pounds. And they're saying that it's a potent intravenous infusion of antibodies to neutralize the virus rather than dumping the body's inflammatory response to it. And the results from the recovery trial suggest it could help 1 in 3 of those in hospital with severe COVID. It's just the price that's it's just the cost that frightens me a bit. But groundbreaking treatment, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you know about it? Have you read about it?
Yes. This is something we have heard about from some time, and people have been using it successfully. So obviously the research suggests that it is working. So the steroid treatment, yes, we know that a lot of people very early on started on steroids. So, the main medications were the remdesivir, the hydrochloroquine, and the antiretroviral medication, so anti-malarial medication, steroids, and the steroid treatment and hydrochloroquine, so, and remdesivir, which is the Ebola treatment. So these were the main, obviously, treatments. And then after that, we've heard about the plasma, the antibodies, as you're saying, that that is something that obviously I think in the future it's probably going to be a way forward. So especially I think maybe for people that don't take the vaccines, so maybe people that are not vaccinated might end up having the plasma antibody treatment. But obviously, again, if someone has a contraindication to receive it, it might not work. So, or they might not be able to get it. So, yes, I mean, I think in future there's going to be a lot of more research into what actually worked for the different COVID-19, for the different strains. Because as you know, we've got different strains: the South African, the Bristol, the Kent, the Brazilian, Nigerian, we've got the Indian variant, which is now called the Delta variant. So there's so many different variants around, which obviously Japanese variant. So all of these obviously are going to be looked at in terms of what treatment works, which vaccines work, and how so if people do get unwell, that they receive the treatment quickly and recover. Because obviously the main thing now, and I think what we've seen as well in the UK, is that even though people are getting infected, there is an increase in the number of infections, especially with the Delta variant, the Indian variant. But what we're hearing is that obviously the hospital beds are not as full as what they were before. People are not dying as much as before. So we definitely are more wiser in terms of knowledge and knowing more about COVID-19. And people obviously are getting tested regularly. They are taking precautions of wearing a mask, hand sanitizer, maintaining social distances, going out only unless absolutely necessary. Having said that, I was in London the weekend. We went to the Sukio Mahi Curry Centre, just myself and Arian, and the trains. We usually drive, but Ferdinand and the kids were playing golf, so we went with the train, and it was absolutely packed. I mean, there were so many people. So I actually wish that I had but we had our mask on. We were like just very careful, but it was so packed going and coming. So, and it was really hot as well. So, well, at the center, the Sukya Mai Curry Center, obviously they have strict guidance. When you get in, they take your temperature. You have to have a mask on. There's social distancing, and the seating is all social distancing. Only a few people allowed. So that was all very well planned, and so we weren't worried about that because we felt quite comfortable. We've been many times to the Light Center. But just the trains, the travel. So I don't know how people are feeling, and it's going to get busier.
Well, I think people are just probably because there's more knowledge on the COVID situation. So people they get on with it, and they don't really mind too much. I think people just make sure they're wearing their face masks and they keep some distance, even if it's not that, Anyway, because the time is flying,
I've got the worldometer.
But before we go to the worldometer, there's something I would want to put out there, especially for those traveling, and you've got to have a PCR test and all that before you get out of the country. And earlier on, sorry, it was just a few companies doing it.
Yeah.
And the cost was quite high, anything from between 90 and 165 pounds to do it. But now, if you just go on the government websites and check out the PCR tests, or companies that do PCR tests that are acceptable by airlines or airports or countries, and there's loads of them on now, and you can get something as low as 65 pounds, I'm told.
Yeah.
But in certain areas, it's not just in. But then again, Boots, they're doing a PCR test for traveling as well.
Yeah.
In fact, the Boots in Bedford will start doing theirs from today, and it's as low as 85 pounds. So just trying to put it out there so that you, if you're watching us or listening to us, and you want to do a PCR test to go travel, then don't go with the first one you see.
Yeah.
Just do a bit of research, and you find some cheaper ones near you.
Okay.
Right,
I'll have to contact you. You seem to be well knowledgeable. We'll probably have to do one show just talking about travel, because we can talk about your travels and how people
you won't
can.
Believe it. The number of people who've called me, even yesterday, somebody called me.
I'm not surprised.
Where do I get my test? And when I go to Africa, how do I get I took some time to research and get these things in. So that's it.
So we can talk about that. So a milestone. We've reached 177 million 418,437 coronavirus cases infected worldwide. So that's as of today, the 16th of June. So the total number of deaths is 3,838,618 deaths. So every life matters. And a total recovered 161,866,135. So those obviously are the figures. Then in terms of the top 5, we have USA number 1 with 352,185 positive cases, and the total number of deaths is 615,717. India number 2 with quite close actually. And we should not predict, because our predictions come true. So India's 29,633,105 positive cases with 379,601. Brazil deaths. So Brazil number 3 with 17,543,853 positive cases with 491,164. So that's quite high, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And I think I saw something in the news about Brazil. The cases have gone up. So it definitely still on the increase and concern in Brazil. France, number 4 with 5,744,589 with 110,530. Turkey is 5,342,028 with 48,879. So UK is 4,000,005. It's number 7 with 4,581,006 with 127,917 deaths. And then we've got South Africa. I was going to say that Cyril Ramaphosa addressed the nation 2 days ago, and he's moved the country, I think, to level 3 lockdown. And there's lots of talks about the vaccines and vaccine rollout. And I think there's some contamination with the Johnson & Johnson vaccines, about 2 million, which they're disposing. So there's lots going on. But and they were going into the third wave. So South Africa is 1,761,066, number 19 in the world with 58,087 and Ghana. So you've come from Ghana and your travels. Ghana's pretty good, with 96 on the list, with 94,699 were positive cases, with 790 deaths. So they're still doing very well. And I think from the sounds of it, from your holiday, it seemed like it was quite safe, really safe.
It is quite safe. They're very, very effective. Honestly, they put their foot down, and of course you will have a few people who flap the rules and all that. But I just heard about last week that the government has put another task force into the cities. And trying to get people to wear their masks, whether they like them or not. And so they're doing really, really well. I mean, I must commend the Ghanaian government and the health authorities there. They're doing really well. And every office, every shop that you go into, small or large, supermarkets, any malls, they have people at the entrance where they check your temperatures before you go. You check your temperature before you go, and if it exceeds it, you're not going in. Definitely not going in. So
I know you were telling me everything was when you were in Ghana we spoke, and you told me everything was so safe.
I'll tell you something that really I thought was really cool with this lady, shop assistant. I was traveling from Togo, which is the country next to Ghana. So I was in a car, like a hired car with a driver, and I was coming. So when we were getting into the city, getting into Accra, I felt I was thirsty. I was sleeping actually because I was very tired. So I was sleeping. I just woke up and I said to the driver, "Can you go to the petrol station and go and get some water?" So he went in, and I got out because I had my mask because I was sleeping. I had my mask down there. I got up and then I went into the shop. And as soon as I got to the entrance of the shop, the woman just signaled to me from inside, said, mask, get your mask back up.
Oh, that's amazing.
I put it back up, and then I went in, and then she said to me, I wouldn't have let you in if you didn't have your mask,
Wow.
And I said to her, this is really, really cool. This is recommendable. And thank you for reminding me that I don't have my mask on my face. And I said, that's really good,
That's quite unlike you, though. You usually have your mask on.
No, it's very unlikely.
It's very unlikely.
Because it's a long journey. And I was tired, and the air conditioner was like so nice and cool in the car. So I was lying in the back of the car, I was sleeping. And so I took off my mask. I didn't take it off completely, but I brought it down under my nose. So when I got out of the car, I had forgotten that I hadn't taken it back up. I went, and then she said, no, put it back up. And I thought that was really cool.
Amazing. Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. So, I mean, that's, with you sharing your view about, I know we're off over time, but, it's reassuring for people that want to travel to low-risk countries, the green list, that obviously, it's pretty safe and you can go safely. Just in terms of the UK numbers, is 10 new deaths and 7,673 new cases. So that's obviously, it's still obviously not 0-0 as we would like to, but we are getting close to it. And I'm optimistic. Yeah. So hopefully we can chat. Maybe I don't know when the next show we're doing, but hopefully we'll keep an update. And tomorrow. Yeah. No, definitely. I'm definitely making time. Back in full swing.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you very much, Dr. Seshni. It's amazing to have you back. I mean, I've been missing this for ages.
I know. My apologies. I think because I've just
No. Don't apologize, Dr. Seshni. I've been busy too.
Yeah. But back in normal swing. Back with the show, and definitely to educate and help people globally with the COVID-19 update. Just keeping up to date, it's so important.
It is, yeah.
Well, have a fantastic day. Yes. Yeah. You've given me an idea to do a braai, so it's going to be less cooking for me. Yesterday I made vegetable biryani, which was absolutely delicious. I'm going to have to make biryani and send it to you because you love, I know, I thought of you. But it didn't have meat in it, so I don't think you would have liked it.
My wife loves biryani as well. Yeah.
So anyway. I'll have to make some chicken biryani and send it over to you.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Thanks. Have a fantastic day. Love to everyone.
Have a fantastic day. My love to your family. And remember me when you have your bride, please.
Definitely. Stay safe. Let's spread the love and not the virus.
Absolutely.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, bye,
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Right, that was Dr. Sam.